It feels like we barely had time to play the 1.59 version before SCS Software announced 1.60 is entering the open beta stage. Less than a month after 1.59 officially released, we're already looking at another major update for both ETS2 and ATS. This update is set to bring some big gameplay changes, improvement to some of the most popular trucks, and even a look at what's coming next for ATS. SCS continues to improve some of the systems that we interact with every single day, and while some of the additions are smaller quality of life improvements, there's one feature that in theory should change how we approach our deliveries. So without further ado, let's have a quick look at everything that's happening around the 1.60 update. Let's start with the biggest gameplay addition in the entire update, the expanded rest mechanic. Up until now, resting was fairly simple. Once your driver got tired, you would pull into a rest area, press a button and sleep for a fixed amount of time before continuing your delivery. With 1.60, SCS is giving us a lot more control over that process. Instead of being locked into a predefined rest period, you'll now be able to decide how long you want to sleep and exactly when you want to wake up. This opens up quite a few possibilities. Maybe you want to continue your trip at sunrise, or maybe you'd rather avoid driving through the night. Maybe you're trying to arrive at your destination at a specific time. So now you have a lot more control over how your journey unfolds. The system itself is also becoming a lot more detailed. Fatigue is being split into two separated values, rest state and mandatory break. The rest state represents how rested your driver feels and gradually decreases as you spend more time behind the wheel. Taking a break restores that, allowing you to keep driving comfortably. Mandatory breaks works separately and focuses on driving regulations, keeping track of how long you've been on the road before you're required to make a stop. So for those of us who enjoy the simulation side of ETS2 and ATS, this is probably one of the most meaningful gameplay additions in quite some time. Another major change coming with 1.60 focuses on something we look at quite a lot when playing in first person, the truck interior. SCS is introducing an improved material system which changes the way different surfaces react to life inside the cabin. Materials such as plastic, fabric, leather and metal will now behave more naturally depending on the lighting, creating a more realistic interior across different times of the day and weather conditions. It's worth noting that the update only targets a few trucks to begin with. In ETS2, the first trucks receiving the new material system are DAF NGD and the MAN TG3. In ATS, the Mack Anthem and the Western Star 49X are the first in line, with additional trucks likely to follow in the future updates. Alongside these changes, SCS also made further adjustments to lighting and visual rendering, helping both games continue their gradual graphic improvement without requiring major hardware upgrades from our side. Considering how much time we spend staring at the dashboards, mirrors and instrument panels, I quite enjoy this change. 1.60 also introduces a couple of smaller additions that should make life on the road a little more convenient. One of the more interesting ones is the new game radio system. Players will now have access to dedicated in-game radio stations, covering different genres and moods, including a stream-safe station for content creators. Job Details widget has also been added, and the GPS will now start showing your estimated arrival day and time alongside the remaining distance and travel time. Beyond the features shared between both games, each simulator is also getting a small bonus of its own. For ETS2 players, the Volvo FH Series 6 is receiving new customization options inspired by the latest real-world updates, giving drivers a few more ways to personalize their truck. Over in ATS, Kenworth fans are getting a new Tour America paint job, inspired by classic American trucking culture, and adds a lot more personality to your trucks. These type of smaller bonus additions are always welcome for players who like to spend a lot of time building and customizing their trucks. And finally, while it isn't technically part of the 1.60 update, ATS players also got their first official look at what comes next. SCS Software has announced Indiana as the next state being developed for ATS. We're still a long way from release, so don't expect Indiana to come anytime soon, but it's always exciting to see the next place, the next piece of the map officially revealed, and to get an idea of where ATS is heading. So with that being said, I think we covered pretty much everything. 1.60 is shaping up to be another solid update for both ETS2 and ATS, bringing a mix of gameplay improvements, visual upgrades and quality of life additions. And as always, thank you for watching. Until the next time, stay safe on the road and keep on trucking. Cheers.